So I'm Billy, and I've been obsessed with artificial intelligence and virtual reality and augmented reality. And I think we are sitting in the biggest shift that we will experience for the rest of our lives. It is chilling what you can do. And my obsession has been, obviously I'm a marketing expert, I'm not an artificial intelligence expert, so I've just been paying consultants left and right to teach me what is artificial intelligence capable of, and then I've been combining that with my experience to figure out how can we apply this to marketing to get rich? Isn't that the goal? So that's what I'm gonna share with you guys today, and impact others and stuff like that, but yeah. We'll do that too. We don't want to belittle the money part, you know? So I'm gonna be playing a lot of videos, showing a lot of demonstrations. Very loose. If you have a comment or question, just feel to yell at me and interrupt me. It's all good. And let's have some fun. You guys ready to go? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Also, too, most of the audiences I've spoken in stages are pretty male dominant. So I'm definitely nervous right now. This is different. I feel like maybe this is a safe place to be vulnerable. I mean, this is, I don't know. Things are happening now. Appreciate you. Okay, here we go. How to use artificial intelligence to cut costs, reduce time, and make more in 2023. So I can get familiar, has anybody ever seen my ads before, any of our content throughout? Okay, we got about half. For those of you that don't know me, I started off as an agency guy. People would pay me money to bring them leads, so I got to work with a lot of franchises. Dave & Buster's, Kia, Orange Theory Fitness. We opened up about 400 of their locations. Core Power Yoga, European Wax Therapy, whatever is on that list. And that's how I got good at this advertising thing. I bring this up because nowadays people claim themselves to be marketing experts, but all they've done is coach people on marketing. They haven't actually done it. So I've been in the trenches. I was doing this from my parents' house, and then fast forward and here we are. So now our ads have been seen over 1 billion times, which is a little weird. We have over 175,000 students in 75 countries, which is pretty humbling. And how did I grow my business? Is timing and this concept of being first. So, you know, when I first started advertising, I learned this Facebook thing. This is long story short, and I was obsessed with it. And I remember at the time, whenever I talked to a business owner, they used to always tell me the same thing. Do Facebook ads really work? And I'm like, yeah, they do. And then they would say the same things that you hear about AI now. Is that Facebook stuff just a fad? Is it going away? And I'm like, I don't think so. You should probably pay attention. But at the time, I'm unestablished. I'm living at my parents' house. I didn't finish my last class at the University of San Diego, so technically I was a college dropout, and I disappointed my entire family. My grandma literally didn't talk to me for like a year, whatever though. And this is it. So when I had people doubting the performance of Facebook, I actually believed them instead of them believing me, because I was still untested, unproven. But I'm not that anymore, so when I tell you to pay attention to AI, pay attention. It's different now. I see things. But to continue with this story, so I'm at my parents' house, and I remember I was doing Facebook ads, and it was before I was working with Orange Theory. It was the first location I ever talked to. It was a location in Los Angeles. And the owner says, my friend that I went to college with set me up a meeting. And I was like, yeah, I think I can bring you leads. And he goes, okay, let's do it. How much does it cost? And remember, I'm at my parents' house. So I was like, whatever, what are you willing to pay? Like, I'll take it. It doesn't really matter. So anyways, I ended up saying like $1,000. And he goes, okay, cool. And at the time, this is a significant amount of money. I was partying. I can't dance right now, but I was doing something that looked better than with my leg. And I'm celebrating that I'm about to make this $1,000. And then all of a sudden, the day before we're supposed to launch the campaign, he gives me a call and says, unfortunately, Billy, we're gonna have to pull out of the deal. Now, mind you, I already spent the money. Like, what do you mean? The second that in the beginning, the second you get money, it usually goes out ignorantly. And so I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So I call him up and I say, hey man, what changed? What shifted? And he said, well, we hired a new manager, and this manager came from Equinox. Or Equinox, how do I pronounce it? Which one? whatever. And she let me know that unfortunately, Facebook ads don't work just like we thought. Now, desperation is a hell of a drug. So I picked up the phone and I said, look, man, I understand your concerns and doubts. And I said, the only thing at the end of the day that's really gonna let us know is a test. So if you stay with the deal, what I'll do is if it doesn't work, I will double your money. I'll double it. Now, mind you, did I have the money to double it? No, so I had to make it work. So this is the promise that I made him. And then he went one step further and he said, okay, cool, but will you put that in writing? And I said, check your email. Emailed him, told him I'd do it. I said, all right, before we start this campaign, let's set some expectations. How many leads do you usually get a month? And he said, we get about 100 leads a month. And I said, okay, cool. So first day of testing, if I can bring him a handful of leads, we'll be okay. So I'm nervous. I can't breathe. You know, the nervous breathing. We run the test. All of a sudden, I'm refreshing the campaign. I see a lead come in, lead come in, lead come in, lead come in, lead come in. And the day comes, he calls me, he says, oh. I said, how many leads you get? He said, 121 leads in one day. And that was my reaction too, but it was more like this. Oh, thank God. I know how that was gonna go. So I laid it out, and then he signed, and that is really what took my career off, is that moment, that leap of faith that I could deliver. And mind you, that was their month production that we were getting done in a day. So the first thing he did is he revealed, he's like, by the way, this isn't the only one I own. I also own another one in NorCal. So he connects me with them, I get the results again. Well, this partner in this one also owns blank. So connects me with that person. And then fast forward, and that's when it got to like 300, 400 different locations. But it was all because of one word. Anybody know what that is? Results. Results. You can have all the faith, the motivation, and energy, but if you ain't got no damn results, it doesn't matter. So the results is what drove it. And coming to this slide, I was one of the first. I literally remember the day it came out that you can advertise on Facebook video. Like, I saw the feature come and told her, holy cow, you can do this? Like, that wasn't even a thing. So I went all in. We grew like crazy. And at the time, this is a big franchise, right? And at the time, almost every single one of them already had a marketing growler guy. But what was the service that they were selling then, in about 2015? What was the service that they were selling then that was super hot? SEO. Now, here's the thing about SEO. It's really important, even though it might get rocked a little bit with this whole AI thing, which I'll get into. But the challenge is, when you do SEO, as effective as it is, how long does it take to get results? Months, correct. So when the person that they're paying says, hey, Mr. Customer, pay me now and I'll send you customers eventually, and then I go, I don't care if you pay me or not, give me one day and I'll bring you results. Who do you think won? I didn't have to really sell much. I didn't have to have a dynamic personality. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to have a college degree like I thought I did. I didn't have to speak proper and all the limiting beliefs went away because sales cures all. So I do this shift and I'm sharing this story, and then here we are today, $50 million plus in sales, blah, blah. And then I look at all this and I go, it's happening again. This is it. I could feel it. Like, this is it. This is the shift. This is the change. This is the opportunity. So I go all in with AI. And so this slide here, the threat is real. A lot of people go, AI, is it really? I'm telling you, the threat is real, but not like people think, even though I'll show you some weird examples. People think that when I say that, a robot's gonna like crawl out of your computer and like take over your marketing and no, it's much simpler than that. It's just gonna be your competitor that uses it when you're not. Right? It's capitalism, like that's the game. So someone else is gonna use it. They're gonna be 10 times faster, smarter, all of the things, more profitable, and it's gonna be very hard to keep up. So that's what I mean by threat. So I'm deeming this era the great replacement. right? Who knows what's going to happen, policy, etc. But some experts think that as much as 50% of the workforce can be replaced. It's scary, isn't it? Who knows if they're right? But let's say they're even close to right, a little bit right. Holy cow. The truth about humans. Expensive. Let me start there, since we are in this lovely state of California. Does anybody know how much it costs to put somebody on salary in the state of California right now? About $62,000. $62,000. It sucks. But it doesn't suck if you can hire someone who's doing a task or skill set that's worth $62,000. What sucks is when somebody is like copy and pasting or kicking people out of a Facebook group, and you're paying $60,000 because it's hard to schedule because sometimes you need the function on the weekend. It just doesn't really make sense, right? Like it's kind of like the odds are stacked against you there. So humans are expensive. There's one. Days off, etc. 2, unreliable. And I don't mean this as a knock against us. I mean it very humanly. We're unreliable because like this, I just didn't know I was going to tear my calf. And then 3 days later, my daughter was going to break her arm. Wow. And then 2 days after that, my mom goes to the hospital. Wow. So just imagine like this week, it's even someone who has their together that's responsible can have a human moment. So that's the tough part about humans. We just go through things. And then the last aspect, slow. We're slow. We get distracted. I would do this, like it's there. So, question for you guys. Raise your hand if you've ever wanted to fire somebody for one of those 3 reasons. Yeah. Oh, that's uncomfortable. Ooh, sheesh. What about the flip? Anybody ever wanted to quit for one of those 3 reasons? You felt like your employer was unreliable, etc. Goes both ways. Don't think we're invincible. This is a marketplace, okay? So, AI is not the threat. It's the decisions humans will make when they have access to AI, okay? This has been the capitalistic sentiment shared all throughout history. An opportunity we've had to get rid of humans, we do. Whenever, like the Renaissance, like this is whenever we've had an opportunity to eliminate a human, we do. Something that you may notice in your banking app. Anybody bank with Bank of America? Bank of America has this app or this artificial intelligence called Erica. Talked to Erica before, huh? What is this overdraft fee, Erica? Think about it. It's probably just a series of all the same questions and comments. Imagine paying a human in California $63,000 when the most they can do is talk to like 3, 5 people at a time, maybe 12 if they're superb. And then Erica comes in and says, don't worry, I can handle 12 million simultaneously. Later, humans, gone, okay? Factory workers is another great example. And I think the movie that illustrated this most is Charlie. Can we make sure the sound's up on the presentation, please?
Dad.
Yes, Charlie?
Why aren't you at work?
Oh, well, the toothpaste factory thought they'd give me a bit of time off.
Like summer vacation?
Sure. Something like that.
In fact, it wasn't like a vacation at all. The upswing in candy sales has led to a rise in cavities, which led to a rise in toothpaste sales. With the extra money, the factory had decided to modernize, eliminating Mr. Bucket's job.
The factory decided to modernize and eliminate Mr. Bucket's job. Here it is in a silly movie. And now we're living it. Interesting, okay? So my prediction is the workforce over the next decade will look unrecognizable due to artificial intelligence. Notice I said over the next decade. These things will take time to implement. It'll be a progression, but you will look up in a decade and be like, holy cow, right? So what is artificial intelligence? The definition, the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition. Like, no one knows what that means. So I'm gonna translate that. A computer that can see, hear, read, and then make decisions and perform tasks based on the information it learns. Imagine giving a weapon to hundreds of millions of people at the same time, and then allowing them to develop things using that weapon. That's why the future is so uncertain, because you don't know what a whole bunch of humans are going to do with the power. But here's what they've done. Netflix. Anybody ever Netflix and chilled before? Yes. Yeah? Okay. So then all of a sudden you're on Netflix and right there it says, because you watch Orange is the New Black. And it gives you all of these other options. And they try and make a decision for you. Who is they? AI. This is it. You see it all the time. It's not new. It's making decisions for us. Remember, computer that makes decisions for us, okay? Second aspect. My buddy Maurice Conti has the #1 TED Talk on AI in the world. And he brought up this example, and I thought it was fascinating, because I have overlooked this. But Microsoft Word. Like, you don't think about the fact that when you don't spell something and then automatically the word is spelled correctly out of nowhere, it's not Steve Jobs. It's AI, right? And I was like, and we have the example Ray used here is entrepreneur, because who the hell can spell that, right? Like, every time. Is it the E, the N, do we switch? And then we have Apple, of course. So you don't want anyone getting your phone, so you use facial recognition. Remember, it's a computer that can see. So that's pretty damn cool, right? A computer that can see and allow you access to the phone, obviously that's not a human, that's AI. Matter of fact, imagine hiring a human and that was their job. I just want you to sit in front of this computer and then marry it up to this picture, like, unfathomable, right? So anybody here use Siri or Alexa? Regular basic show of hands, show of hands. Your friend is AI. You have conversations. What's my day like today? How's the weather? You're talking to a robot, right? So AI is there. You need a personal assistant. You ask it to play a song. AI is already doing these things in your life. And it's integrated so smoothly you don't even notice. The companies that are hyper-focused on this, Google creating Bard, which is a competitor to ChatGPT, which is the biggest one. ChatGPT, Microsoft throwing $10 billion into it. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg recently announced that they will be using AI personas to help you create images and in text and in the advertising platform. When I see the biggest players in the game all using this technology, it makes me pay attention, right? That's what makes me, I don't want to say certain, but the bigger thing is, think about how many users are on all those platforms that I just said. So when they implement, it will be seamless. My guess is, and it's just a guess, but when you go to Google, instead of giving you 13 options to then start to go discover information, it'll probably just tell you. So what does that do to SEO? I don't know. Those words are powerful. I don't know. No one does it. It's the Wild Wild West. December, that's when the world got access. It's happening right now. What a cool opportunity to become a pioneer. What a cool opportunity to get there first. Because most of the world will ignore it, fear it, not use it, and then get left behind as a result, because you're probably going to take their customers and then hire them. Or maybe not, because you'll have AI. So, in the past, it's already replaced many jobs. In present day, AI replaces a lot of thinking. In the future, will AI replace everything? For the first time, you have billions of people with access to technology, and some will use it to perform extraordinary tasks. The Da Vinci surgical system. This is already very real. It's done more than 110,000 operations. Smaller incisions, which results in less pain and faster recovery for patients. Let me be clear. It will definitely come to the point when you go to the doctor's office and you see a human and you go, oh my gosh, get me out of here. Are you kidding me? He's not touching me. She's not going near me. In the same way that if you take a mathematician, take the best in the whole world, would you trust her or him, or would you trust your calculator? Correct. I go to the example of therapy. You go, therapy's got the human touch. It could never be replaced. But remember what I told you the definition is. AI can hear, see, read, etc. When you are having a conversation with your therapist or your confidant, essentially what is the other person doing? They're just listening and hearing. And then they give you a recommendation based on their current emotional state. So maybe it's biased that day because their relationship is perfect, so yours should be too. Maybe they just become single and they said, you don't need them anyway. But AI is objective. It will give you a recommendation that is recommended by Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Oxford, etc., and give you the perfect answer every single time. So when you go to therapy, you're like, oh, you're gonna go talk to your therapist? That's amazing. You go see a human, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna talk to a human about my problems. They're gonna give me a human answer. It's interesting. Question?
I use a virtual therapist now.
So that's a good point, is virtual, especially when the pandemic hit, a lot of people switched to virtual therapy. And so I'll go into some of these other tools and softwares that I'll show you. And I know what I'm saying to some of you is like, come on, is that really? Yes. Yes, straight yes. Yes, absolutely, without question, because money still runs the world. Matter of fact, most of the people that are talking about the greater good usually only start that conversation once their money is good. You ever tried to help other people when you have a foundation? You're not much help. It's very difficult to do. So money will always kind of shape what's happening. And I showed you something amazing with surgeries. I'll circle right back. Amazing with surgeries, but also remember, AI is not inherently evil. I see the weirdest takes, right? I see people talking about now AI is just this liberal machine, and then, AI is also this, it's just technology. The people who use it are that. For example, lethal autonomous weapon systems. These have been around. This is the scary part. Play a clip.
Lethal autonomous weapons could locate, identify, and kill their targets without any input from a person. These weapons would react too fast for a human to maintain meaningful control. They could be mass-produced and programmed to target innocent civilians of a specific ideology. And they could be made small enough to enable the assassination of any political leader.
Yeah, crazy. So I was like, this is wild. Is this like a real thing? So recently I hired my buddy Walter. His name is Walter O'Brien. If you've ever seen the show The Scorpion on CBS, it's about like a child prodigy, one of the smartest kids in the world. It's about him. He's been doing AI for decades with an S. His company does about 3 to 6 billion a year, 50% government contracts, specializing with AI. So I've asked him point blank. I just said, so dude, can this just kill us all or what? And he said yes. But like he didn't say it like that. But essentially, his dark answer was, well, how much does it cost to make a drone? I said, I don't know, I haven't made a drone before. He's like, it's a couple bucks. And he said, how much does it cost to make a bomb? I said, a couple bucks. He said. And he said, can't you just use AI to tell it what to do and where to fly? Everybody seen a drone before? That's what they've been doing in the military. He said, to the point where if there's a stadium full of people, you can have it target a certain type of person and it wouldn't even hurt the person next to it. This is right now. Also something to think about. When you see all these tools, if this is what the public has access to, what's it like in private? If this is, I'm talking about this, right? No security clearance at all. But let's talk about the good. I don't want to ruin your days, right? Like this guy right here who's using AI for completely irrelevance, but just laughter and joy, which I think is really relevant. Anybody seen him before? Look at this guy's doing, okay? He decided to use an AI image software to travel through time and take selfies. So basically recreate whatever moment was happening in history and just put himself in it. So here he is with the dinosaurs. And it's crazy how real it looks, right? And then the Spartans, just him as a part of 300. Trojan War, he's in the horse. No big deal. Medieval times, he's doing his thing, even got a rock thrown at his face. And then he's hanging out with Albert Einstein. Like, just fun, right? So it's not all evil, it's not all good. Some things are just this. Just random pictures, okay? So, I'm all in on AI, but are you guys? Will you be? Are you sure? Yes. Some people are like, I'm out of here. This is too much. Not today, Bill. Not today. Let's continue. So assume the world's not going to end and our families are still going to be here. The question still remains, how can we profit from artificial intelligence? Where's the money-making opportunity? So to look at that, we're going to start with the math. I'm a big math guy. This is the real stat. 9 out of 10 businesses fail over the span of a decade. Just think about that. 9 out of 10 fail. That means if you're still standing, does that mean you're profitable? No. Does that mean you're rich? No. And if you ask people, this is another stat, 70% of their expenses are typically labor. 70%. And if you ask most people why they stopped their business other than just deciding not to, they usually mention cash. Money, cash was tight, it became too expensive, and usually money is the thing. So if most of my expenses, and that's the thing that's putting me out of business, are humans, and now I have a chance to change that, So how do we profit off of artificial intelligence? Is we fire everybody. Just kidding, totally don't do that, it's a stupid idea. But that's what you're probably gonna hear around the internet. And it's dumb, it doesn't make any sense, because right now AI still requires a human. A human still has to tell it what to do. Every single example I gave you, a human is still telling it what to do. Not forever, not for always, but at least right now in this current moment. So you can't fire anybody, but you gotta definitely reduce your cost, okay? So the 5 core competencies or components of a modern day small business. Because it used to be where there's all these departments, etc. So I'm gonna kind of give you guys a different spin on this and then we'll dive in. So the first aspect of business is content. It actually starts with content, because how can you buy something if you've never heard of the person before? So content is what people read, watch, listen to, and see about your business. That's what I mean by content. Then the second aspect in a modern day business is your marketing. What I mean by marketing, that's the distribution of the content to generate interest, right? So first you gotta make the content, but then you gotta get it out there to people who are likely going to potentially buy. And then that's when sales comes in, to convert that interest into customers. Used to be a salesperson, sometimes this is just a sales page, a webinar, etc. The sales. After that, you got customer support. Customer support is to keep customers happy so they continue to buy your stuff. And then the last component is operations, the management of the people, product, process, and risk in your business. Go ahead and take a quick picture of this. This is like the modern day simplified version of business, especially if you're small, right? Okay, go to the next slide. So pop quiz, what's the most expensive aspect to not have? Marketing, interesting. Is it because my company name is Billie Jean is Marketing? You guessed that? Content. So this is the answer that I had. Whichever one comes first, which is content. Because, think about it, if people have nothing to see, to view, to read, to talk about, how can they generate interest with marketing? Interest in what? And if there's no interested people, who are they going to sell? And if there's no salespeople, who's there to customer support? And if you don't have customer support, sales, and marketing, what the hell would you need an operations manager for? I bring this example up in particular because too many times do I see entrepreneurs say, I don't have time to do the content. I don't have time to do the marketing. So my question is, then what the hell are you doing? Are you actually doing PPAs? Profit-producing activities. Because we've all been busy before. But does busy equal productivity? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So here's 8 artificial intelligence tools that you can implement in your business right now to reduce the cost, time, and headache of creating content, which is first. And then I will go into some other tools that specialize on sales in particular. You guys ready for that? Are you ready for that? All right. I missed it in the beginning. I heard you guys ran in here. They opened doors. It's pretty cool. We gotta, just like when I'm done, maybe you guys can run or jump. I don't know. Anyways, okay, so here we go. And also too, big red text. The tools I'm gonna show you, they're sick, they're cool, they're amazing. They're also the least important. They are just tools. They're tools, right? Like imagine if I had a tool set in front of me, like, okay, but imagine if I built a house. Like the house would be the sick thing, right? Oh my God, the guy built a house. You wouldn't be talking about the tools. AI right now, people are hyped on the tools, but who cares? Because tools you can't take to the bank and deposit. So let's jump in. The first I'll start with is the one that most people have heard of now, and actually we'll poll the room. How many of you have tried it, actually played with it? Perfect, like everybody. Okay, cool. So this is good. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one, but we'll play a clip anyway.
ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence tool to help you write, think, and solve problems faster than ever before. Here's one simple way to use it. I'm a marketer and my client is a life coach. I can log into ChatGPT and type in the prompt, write me a Facebook ad selling life coaching to a newly single female. And in seconds, AI wrote my ad. But that's not all. If I wanted to bring in some personality, I can tell the AI to make it funny. For example, type in the prompt, now write me 10 headlines selling life coaching to a newly single female, but make them funny. And voila, who needs a man when you've got a life coach? We'll help you find your inner Beyonce. Single and ready to mingle with our life coaching program. No more tears over your ex. Our life coach will have you laughing all the way to success. Say goodbye to Netflix and cry nights, hello to Netflix and thrive with our life coaching program. The commands and prompts are endless.
So commands and prompts are endless. Let's clap it up for Rhea for making our videos today. She's right there in the back, superstar. I have this conversation, I see a lot of comments and kind of chatter about, that ChatGPT thing is it's cool or whatever, but it can't really replicate a human touch. You're right, it can do it better. If used correctly. So again, I told you guys I've been on this hunt for paying experts to show me how to get the most out of all these things. And this note here is ChatGPT is only good as the prompt it receives. Prompt meaning, what did you type into the chat to spit out your thing? So how do you identify a good versus bad prompt? So I invited Sean Vosler, awesome guy, you guys should follow his stuff, biology. Good man, but his current title is the affiliate manager at another company called Jasper. Anybody familiar with Jasper? Somebody? Yep, so Jasper is amazing. Jasper is valued at 1.5 billion. Sean's been doing copywriting forever, and he's their affiliate manager. I thought, now this is probably a good person who knows a thing or two about prompts. Let me hire him to teach us. And he gave this example of the typical person using ChatGPT. And he used it to sell this product called flex tape, right? It's like tape you put on your boat. If there's like a hole in your boat, you put the flex tape on it, like whatever, okay? And so the bad prompt example he gave was write a story about a customer who fixed their leaky boat using flex tape. Okay, story-based ChatGPT, that could be interesting. And here it is, and it's pretty basic. It just says, once upon a time, there was a man named Tom who loved to go fishing on his boat. However, one day while he was out on the water, he noticed that his boat was taking on water. He quickly realized that he had a leak. Tom was worried that he would have to pay a lot of money to get his boat fixed, but he had a product called flex tape that claimed to I fell asleep. I want people to remember this, because complete doesn't mean you get paid. So you might be able to use that and spit out this prompt and be like, okay, I'm done. But then when you try to distribute this content, the marketing, still nobody's going to buy. So what good is it? So we decided to have some fun. And we took Sean's lessons and said, okay, how do we do this in like the good way? And this is Sean's prompt versus what I just showed you. Write an allegorical story in the first person point of view that highlights the emotional pain of having a leaky boat and how flex tape helped them overcome the problem. Write in the tone and style of Werner Herzog. I don't know what it is, but somebody. Take a picture of it. That's the good prompt example. So there's an app that I'll show you here in a moment, and it learned my voice. And so now I don't have to do like reminders, calls, like I can, if I wanted to write an audiobook, I don't even have to say it. I can have AI do it because it's now trained. Now mind you, it's got a long way to go before it sounds completely human, but a long way in like AI terms might be like 2 weeks. You know, like you don't know when they're going to release their thing. So we had some fun with this, and I had my AI robot, meaning I never read this. It was completely done. And then I had Johnny, my podcast producer, like score it with some sound effects just for giggles. And this is how we now sell flex tape. It's not even my client, but this is just for fun what we did. Here we go.
I am a sailor, a solitary soul, who spends my days traversing the vast oceans in search of adventure and peace. I have faced many challenges in my life, but nothing compares to the emotional pain of having a leaky boat. It is a constant reminder of my own mortality, a persistent ache that saps my strength and resilience. For many years, I battled against water that threatened to swallow my vessel whole. I tried every solution I could think of, but the leaks seemed to grow worse with each passing day. I felt hopeless, like I was drowning in a sea of despair. But then a companion told me about Flex Seal. I was skeptical at first, but I decided to give it a try. And to my amazement, it worked. The thick, rubberized coating sealed the leaks and made my boat watertight once again. I felt a sense of relief that I had not experienced in many years. With Flex Seal, I am no longer afraid of the water that surrounds me. I am free to explore the unknown and chase my dreams. I am no longer a sailor struggling to keep afloat, but a master of my own destiny, a conqueror of the seas. And so I set once more, my heart full of gratitude for Flex Seal and the peace it has brought me. For I am a sailor, and the sea is my home. And I will never again let a leaky boat stand in the way of my quest for happiness.
Give it up for AI. Crazy, right? So, and again, I never read that. I never read it, which is also scary. Because I'm always afraid someone's going to call American Express and, is this Billy? Don't get any ideas. I see some eyebrow raised there. It's a black card too. Yeah, don't go there. Okay, so that's that. That's pretty awesome. That's amazing. There's bad prompt and there's good, and that just illustrates the difference. Okay. Second AI tool. You guys are probably familiar with this one too. DALL-E. Anybody familiar with DALL-E? This one's pretty dope. I'll show you how it works.
DALL-E, the artificial intelligence tool that creates realistic images and art in seconds based on a single description. Here's how it works. I can log into DALL-E and type in a photo of a couple watching the sunset on a beach in Hawaii. In a matter of moments, the AI generates 4 different images that I can download and use for anything. Creating beautiful, realistic image content for travel agents just got easier. Now what about local businesses like a dog groomer? Let's type in a German Shepherd puppy in a bathtub at the groomer. Look how real they look. And lastly, what if I owned a makeup brand? I don't need to hire a product photographer, just type in something like a bright pink lipstick in a black tube with a diamond background. And there you go. Instant image content for any business.
Surreal, right? And I think the wild thing is that's in seconds. In seconds. And I'm sure you've all been through the process of calling a graphic designer. One, finding them was difficult. And then you articulating your idea was even tougher, right? And then they came back and you're like, I'll just draw it myself. That's how it goes, right? And then this thing comes around and just crazy, okay? Genius tip, take a picture of this for me, please. So made this very fancy graph. And on the y-axis, going up and down, it has difficulty 10, difficulty 1 at the lowest level. And then on the x-axis, going from left to right, it has a $sign for a little bit of money and a bunch of $signs for a lot of bit of money. The thing I want to keep reiterating to this room, especially full of sharp marketers and brains, is typically with money, the easier something is to solve, it's not worth that much money. The more difficult it is to solve, that's where the money comes in. And I share this because a lot of people see this and they go, oh, awesome, I'm going to create ebooks with pictures for people and da-da-da. I'm like, bro, they're going to do it themselves. It's not a real marketplace. It's too easy. That's not the opportunity. The opportunity comes when you put it all together, right? So this is an example we gave. It's when you take ChatGPT and you have it write the ad for you about that dog that Ray had mentioned on DALL-E. And then you upload it to Facebook and you run ads to actually generate sales. That's where the money comes from, is to build the marketing campaign. But you have to be aware of the tools to do. But the beautiful thing is you don't have to be some crazy techie person to do it. When I first got into this game, anybody been in digital marketing for a while? You've seen it. Remember, we just had to do everything ourselves. You had to learn how to code, you had to learn how to write, which was great at the time because it created a bit of a moat, to the people who really rolled up their sleeves. But now, anybody can learn to do this. I saw a comment, someone said, that AI stuff is great for you, but I'm not techie enough. And I go, that's kind of the point. AI is for the non-techie. Scale of 1 to 10, how techie was that process? Yeah, a 0. You don't even give it a numeric value, right? So something to think about. It's the putting it together, the whole enchilada, that's where the opportunity is, I believe. This is my favorite one. It's awesome. I'm gonna play the video for you.
Synthesia, the artificial intelligence tool that creates videos from plain text in minutes. Here's how it works. Log in and click Create Video. Choose from one of their many templates. Select your avatar. Insert your script. Customize the visuals. Choose your voice, including the language and tone.
Join Billie Jean's 5-day AI. Join Billie Jean's 5-day AI. Join Billie Jean's 5-day.
Click Generate. Give it a title. And in minutes, my AI video is ready.
Join Billie Jean's 5-day AI. Crash course for marketers. No coding or prior technical skills required at all. Billie Jean is a great marketer, but not an artificial intelligence expert yet. So he's hiring some of the best to hop on a Zoom with him to teach him how to make more money, cut costs, and save time so he can make the 4-hour work week a reality. Would you like to watch Slash do it with him for 5 days and $34?
Crazy, right? Someone asked a question, can you put yourself in it? Yes. Yeah, well, the voice thing is a little trickier, but yes is the short answer. So I did it, because you have to pay actually. They're like $1,000 if you want to make yourself. I said, I'll take 2. So I have another one where it's me. And it's really weird because you have the default voices at first. So I'm like watching myself talk like I'm from London or something like that. And it tripped me out a bit. It's just so spot on. It was weird. So like, yeah, it's all that. And it looks very real because they are based off of humans and then they give human motions. So, you know, from let's say, I think we have some examples here. But, I mean, can this sell for you? Of course it can. Can it do your onboarding, your educational series, your welcome calls? Like, of course it can. So, like, yeah, it's pretty nuts. But I said again, remember, you can make this sick video ad, but it doesn't become valuable until it has views, right? We need the views so we can translate it into dollars. Don't let that part slip. Now, Descript is my other favorite. They're all my favorite tools. It's like my babies. I don't know. Descript. Descript is sensational. Let's play it.
Descript, the artificial intelligence tool that can create audio content using your voice in real time. Here's how it works. Create a new voice, create a title for that voice, and upload it into the software. For example, I grabbed a snippet of Billy's voice from his podcast, and here it is.
Trending topic. Donald Trump is selling NFTs of himself. So let me just give you a little bit of insight here. An NFT is basically...
Cool. Once the system has the voice, here's where the fun begins. Create a new project and start writing whatever you want that voice to say.
What I am typing right now, Billie Jean did not actually say. His artificial intelligence voice is repeating word for word what is being typed in real time. This is what we're calling the great replacement.
And just like that, you can replicate reminder voice notes to get people to show up to a webinar or an appointment, create an entire podcast, or overdub a demonstration video just like this one without the talent actually being there.
Crazy, right? It's crazy. So the Descript, as you'll notice, it's still a little robotic, right? It will fix, but you can also, that was a bad example, you can also aside like a bunch of audio from teaching and videos, etc., but you can train it in different styles. So when you're typing in the chat, it allows you to choose what speaker you want the voice coming from. So there's a hyped Billie Jean, well, woo! And I'm all wild and being ridiculous. And then there's like calm and chill. It's like, so you can choose the mood and it does sound better. Still not perfect, but better. Put it this way, good enough to implement right now into how you want to in your company. That one's called descript.com. By the way, is this helpful so far? Yeah. All right, okay, good. We'll keep on going. Yeah, I said debug. Can I get rich doing audiobooks for people? It's probably not gonna pay a lot of money, but who knows? All right, so here's what I can do. Clone myself to save time, and then AI can create my audiobooks, my trainings, my podcasts, and then I can use those extra hours to focus on selling. I wanna keep coming back to that. Right? Really, this is what well, literally you saw with Synthesia, I'm cloning myself for real. Like this is really crazy stuff. But use the hours to focus on PPAs, okay? That's the immediate win. This one, most people won't use it, but it's pretty cool. I'll play it.
SoundRaw, the artificial intelligence tool to help me create royalty-free music instantly. Here's how it works. I choose the length, the tempo, the mood, the instruments, and then AI generates dozens of tracks. Once I select one, I can customize the energy by turning it up or toning it down. And just like that, I have the perfect song to add to my content.
Yeah, so this becomes significant and relevant because when you are creating those advertisements, you can't use the new Rihanna song or whatever. It's against their terms and their policies. So when you can come here and create a song from scratch without knowing anything about mixing or mastering, another amazing opportunity. 6, I talked about that. Otter. You guys used Otter before? Yes. Otter's cool. Otter's cool. Just a fun one. Play it.
Otter.ai, the artificial intelligence tool that writes and summarizes meeting notes 30 times faster than any human, saving you time and money, and can even help put some in your pocket. Here's how it works. All you need to do is click a few buttons to sync your calendar to the software. Once it is synced, every single Google or Zoom meeting that is scheduled to happen will automatically be transcribed in real time, organized, and summarized without you having to touch your keyboard or mouse. If you have a spontaneous meeting, don't worry. Click this button and it will take notes for you in real time. If you recorded a meeting but forgot to take notes, just upload the video or audio file, step away from your desk, and Otter will do the work for you. This replaces the human note taker, improves your productivity, and gives you perfectly transcribed and organized notes so that you can use internally, package them up and sell them, or you can even turn them into a book. The possibilities are endless.
Crazy. So what I like Otter for in particular is sometimes if you have multiple people on a meeting, not everybody can be there at the same time. And then you kind of got to depend on somebody relaying the message, and the message is almost, it's like playing a game of telephone. It's going to get destroyed, right? So when you can come with Otter, it just makes it better. Question here? I'm going to pass the microphone. Oh, there we go. Catchbox, boom.
I've been playing with ChatGPT, and I'm seeing the power of it. And just as a mom and as a businesswoman, I'm concerned about whether or not I can literally be impersonated by this thing. And so are there safeguards in place?
The answer is yes. Yeah, you can. And are there safeguards? Sure, right? Like, so the biggest use case, and why I think it got so popular, is from knuckleheads like me in high school. You guys ever remember being in school and the teacher asked you to write an essay? Do you know how many ChatGPT essays that I would have written? And so there creates the immediate right now need to know. So there are some tools out there to identify, is something written by artificial intelligence? But there's also another software that when artificial intelligence spits out something, it will restructure it so it doesn't look like artificial intelligence made it. It's like, so I'm just like, it's such a ridiculous cat and mouse game that I answer just short, yes. People will be able to. And you know, people don't see it this way, but you saw Twitter said you can just pay for verification now. And now Facebook and Instagram are rolling it out too. When I say verification, like the blue check mark, or the check marks, Facebook and Instagram are supposed to be rolling it out too. And supposedly it's already happening in other countries. So maybe that's a big reason why, is to identify who's the human versus who. It's tough to tell, yeah.
So am I, by interacting with this machine, am I training it to be me?
Yes and no, right? I mean, that's essentially what people are doing. So OpenAI was the company that was started by, what's his face, Sam and Elon Musk, actually. So it was created, and then Elon got out of the company, and he wants to make another competitor now. But essentially, that technology that ChatGPT is using, that Jasper is using, anybody can use. So I don't know. The short answer is there's going to be a whole bunch of things that are created that people are using to rip off. Like as we're sitting here now, there's going to be a gazillion. Hey, use this site, use this site. It's like a race, you know? So for me, I'm just betting on the companies that already have the distribution, because even when somebody creates something new, the people that are going to win are the people that already have the customer, just like in business. So yeah, but good questions. To go about my daughter though. So my daughter does this thing while I'll read her, she just turned 7. So I'll read her like a bedtime story, and she loves to customize it. She's like, all right, Daddy, this time include a dragon and include a castle and spaghetti. Like, what? ChatGPT. Like, so I'll still read the story to her. But yeah, I mean, does it give me a little head start sometimes? Of course it does. Does it make me a bad parent? No, it makes me efficient. It's an interesting time to be alive. Let me circle back to questions. I'll do a whole bunch of time and I'll come back to you guys, okay? Best use case eternal, blah, blah, blah. Okay. This one's sick. Video, you guys see this one? It's pretty dope.
Video.ai, the artificial intelligence tool that turns your long-form video content into bite-sized clips for social media in just minutes. Here's how it works. Simply import your long-form video, set your preferences, whether you want your video to be square, portrait, or landscape. Choose the style of your background, your caption design, add your social media handle, and in just a few seconds, you're all done. Just wait for the software to automatically create bite-sized clips with headlines, captions, and graphics. Review, download, and post on social media in minutes. This replaces the human editor. Triple your production for yourself and your clients, scale, and grow your brand faster than any human could.
Hey guys, you want to know something cool about this one? Guess who owns the software? Nah, I wish. You see, like, damn it, I wish I thought of that one. Yeah, I have no idea who owns it, but it's pretty cool. But again, talking about like, look, you go, okay, this is going to do all my content for me, but you're still going to need to change words and clips and edit it. And that's where you pair AI with VA. This is where you get creative, right? So, like I said, the whole I call it me and Karen were restructuring kind of like the organizational chart for a modern day company. And it started instead of a CEO with the CEH, Chief Executive Human. And then the human will use AI, VAs to build the business around that. Just the structure is different now. So just something to think about. A lot of this is just going to superpower you versus completely like do the job. I wouldn't trust it to do the job, but it definitely save a whole bunch of time. Okay. And this one's sick. This is not a flex. So I was doing dinner with my buddy Damon John. You guys watch Shark Tank? 2 days ago. And he said, do you know Maxine? I was like, I don't know Maxine. Have we met Maxine before? Like, who's Maxine? He's like, oh, Maxine. We're talking AI. Maxine. This is exactly what it does. You ever been on Zoom before, but you're trying to read some shit or record? Yeah. It adjusts your eyes automatically to make it look like you're looking at the camera the entire time. Yeah. Watching the ball game, long distance relationships, psych. Not looking at you. Not doing none of that. I mean, this to me is like my favorite one. So shout out to Damon, right, for putting us onto this one. But I'm like, oh damn, this is good. So. This is a problem. I mean, look, but it's the good versus evil, right? A lot of people will use it for some bullshit. But then also, some of you who are like, damn it, I'm trying to film this video and it looks weird with my eyes off and teleprompter, and it's going to be the best thing ever, right? So it's like, there's good to all of it, but like anything else, most people will use it for getting out of long talks and watching the game at the same time.
Well, and the interviews where people have two screens, that always happens.
Yeah. She mentioned the interview that has multiple screens too, so this helps a lot also. Okay, so recapping. Go ahead and just take a quick picture of that, you guys, real quick. Quick picture. That way you can kind of see them all on one list. I got you. Oh, we're just starting. I got more up my sleeve. Yeah. You know, you should buy my. It's pretty good. But it's my opinion, you know. How many people do you ask to buy your product or service on a daily basis? So my buddy Frank Kern, he was the first person that really put this in perspective. And we were talking about coaching and consulting or something, and he said, you know, I'm paraphrasing, this is a long time ago, but essentially most businesses can solve all of their money problems by fixing their answer to this question. It is amazing how many of us want more money, but I go, well, how many people did you ask to buy this week? And we didn't ask anybody to buy. You want to make more money? Ask more people to buy your. That's the secret. But it's also why I love advertising. I'll get into this after, but right now while I'm sitting here, I will ask 20 million people to buy today. And I'm not there. That's really the power of social media ads. It just keeps making offers so that you don't have to, and it also removes kind of the awkwardness with selling that people experience. Because it's just your advertisement that's doing it for you, okay? All right, continuing on. The amount of money you make is directly correlated with the amount of offers that you make. So here's a simple framework to help you make more offers. The listen up, show up, pay up, and follow up methodology, so to speak. Listen up, show up, pay up, and follow up. Basically, I'm going to walk you through this framework to hopefully help you increase your sales, but leveraging different artificial intelligent softwares to make this process a little bit smoother. So starting with the first, listen up. Can't get anybody to buy your stuff if they're not paying attention. So you sock them. What do you mean by sock them? Is you stop their scroll, you open your emails, click and take their offer, then you punch them. Okay, so here's how socking works. This headline or this AI thing right here is called Headline Studio. Here's how it works.
Headline Studio by CoSchedule, the artificial intelligence tool that helps you write better headlines that drive maximum traffic. Here's how it works. Enter your current headline, click Analyze, then in seconds, you'll get a headline score, suggestions for improvement, alternative words, a breakdown of your word balance, reading grade level, skimmability, and more. Modify your headlines with the AI suggestions, improve your score, and grab more attention with your new headline.
It says, Shannon mentioned earlier about people using lingo, right? And then most people don't understand it, so they miss the message. This is great. This is similar to something else that's called the Hemingway app. If you just go to hemingwayapp.com, yeah, it'll just tell you, like, is this readable? How many syllables is this, etc. This is just an in-depth artificial intelligence, kind of like ChatGPT, but better way to do it. What I also recommend doing it too is even with, subject lines to your emails. Right? Like anywhere there's a barrier of getting someone's attention, you should be testing like crazy, okay? So the sock, that aspect, opening your email. So this thing is called Seventh Sense. Anybody heard of this one? It's pretty powerful. It's only integrated with a couple email service providers, but it's pretty cool. Let me play it.
This is a very important email carrying your newsletter. And this is Sandra. Sandra blew right past your newsletter on Wednesday morning. She only had time to check for last-minute updates before her weekly webinar recording. She'll be doing her research on Sunday evening. Unfortunately, your newsletter will be buried by then. Seventh Sense analyzes the historic engagement patterns for each person in your marketing automation platform, then builds an ever-improving model to predict when each subscriber on your list is most likely to engage. Personalized, one-to-one, and available at scale.
I'm going to stop it there just to really translate what they said. If you ever sent an email to a list, whether it's a small list or a big one, the hardest thing is trying to figure out the times, right? Well, my list opens at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, when the truth is, everybody opens at different times. Some people like to open their emails morning coffee right when they wake up. Some people like to do it in the evening. You just don't know, but AI does. So if they're learning this about every subscriber, imagine what that does to your deliverability. Half the battle is the right place at the right time. And now you can actually dictate that. So extremely powerful. 7 cents. 7 cents. I'll put it right there in the white text there. 7 cents. Again, they're not available with all, but I can't wait till the mass adoption of it. Okay. So next is click and take your offer. One AI tool you can use to get them to click and take your offer is ChatGPT as a competitive analysis, right? So let me kind of talk bigger picture on this. The biggest marketing tip that I can give you, and this is from a place of data, right? My whole life is I just see ad campaigns. You think of the company, I've probably seen their ad campaigns, what they're doing, our groups, our students, our clients. This is my world. And I get questions all the time of Billy, like, how do I make something convert better? And the truth is, the best way to make something convert better is to change the offer. So taking like OTF, which I mentioned earlier, Orange Theory Fitness, the offer, meaning, is it better to give away a coupon for a 2-week trial or a $10 3-day or a 1-day pass or a 30-day pass? Like, changing the offer is the only thing. And the best story that I like to give with this is a client I consulted with years ago who had a kickboxing gym. I wish I could kick this. Had a kickboxing gym. And what they did is when people came in to make their offer boom again, is that they started giving away boxing gloves with everybody that came in. So hey, come in and I'll give you a free pair of boxing gloves. I was like, that's pretty damn good. And they said, yeah, it worked for a while, but then it started to fatigue. So we needed another new offer. I said, what'd you guys do? They said, well, then we made them pink. And it converted like crazy. You got a pair of those? You know, listen, I mean, it's the offer. I'm telling you, like, waste zero time trying to write the perfect word. The market will dictate exactly what you should be leading on or if you should abandon shop. If you test something and you're not making money, like it doesn't seem promising, it's far off, scrap it and throw it away. Remember, this is coming from the guy who sees data all the time. It's almost not even, just change the offer. Figure out a different hook. So here, when we're saying click and take your offer, use ChatGPT to see, you know, what are some other things you can do. So for example, in this we say, here are top 10 best performing Groupons for massage in San Diego. So you can kind of see via Groupon, what were some different things that people were offering. Here you see 60-minute Swedish massage at the $39 price point, 60-minute deep massage, 90-minute custom massage, $79. So it's giving you ideas for offers. So this is a great idea to type in a big company and say, give me 10 of their promotional offers over the last blank amount of time. Because if you try and think of it in your own head, you'll probably get stuck. But anybody can read a list of like 100 best offers in your industry and get an idea and get a spark, okay? I can't stress this enough. Honestly, out of everything I said today, this is the most important. And it'll be the most important thing I will say. I cannot stress that enough. When it comes to money, it's all the offer, waste zero time on all the other small things. I'll give you another example of that. So I've been educating on social media for a decade. You know, type this word or write this note down, this word here. Relevancy. Relevancy. So, talking about social media forever, you know, rewind 6 years ago, I put out something about a Facebook ad or a YouTube ad. The opens go crazy, the buys go crazy. I talked today about, imagine having an email list of 1 million people like we do. And imagine putting an email out to email maybe like 400,000 open or something like that. And imagine only getting 9 people to buy something. And I'm not bad at writing, right? Like I'm talking like our group sitting at a table, really being creative. Oh, this is gonna kill it. 9 people. We update our curriculum with all the AI that's going on. Same offer, which is advertising and marketing with an AI twist, instead of 9, 2,500 people. That same list, historically speaking, I'll send 13 people will buy something. I did a birthday promotional offer, $2 million that month. And I bring this up because a lot of people have audience that you're sitting on right now, and you've created this belief in your company that the list is just dead. No, that offer is dead. What you've been talking about is dead. That's the twist, and I can't stress this enough. Everything that I'm covering today, nothing is more important than this. Because a bad offer, no matter if you have somebody promote it, no matter what you do, it's just not gonna make you money to the point where you wanna be, right? Make sense? Okay, cool, let's keep jamming. So the show up method. Using AI to send a reminder sequence on steroids. So this is like what our reminder sequences look like now, where, you know, somebody opts in for an appointment, we send them a text immediately, then we send them an email, then we wait till 9:30 to get email too or whatever. This is just an example of a sequence, right? Like you just keep marketing. The challenge is to create all of these things takes a whole bunch of time. Sequence takes forever. Like in a perfect world, you just have a sequence that goes on for a year, then you'd stay in their inbox forever. And that was a pain in the until now. So, example, use ChatGPT to write a reminder text. All right, so the prompt. Write a reminder text that sends 1 hour before a scheduled Zoom call for a potential marketing client's first time meeting me. My marketing business helps yoga studios get more customers and make it conversational and funny and limit it to 160 characters. Pretty good. And there's a template for it if you guys want to take a picture of that real quick. Do I have a zoom on it? I do. There you go. Okay, so team writes this. We put it in, and here's the result of what it spit out. Hey, Zoom call in 1 hour. If you're nervous, don't be. I'm basically a marketing therapist. You'll leave feeling better, I promise. Emoji. The text feels human, doesn't it? And I bring that up because there's so many people who think it can't. But if you have a great prompt, it absolutely can. And then the second one, remember we told it in the prompt that we're focusing on yoga studios. So the second reminder text it said is, hey there, our Zoom call is in 1 hour, get your on. I help yoga studios attract more students, and no, you don't have to be a human pretzel to succeed. It's good. It's good, right? And imagine the hour we'd use on that to get the text. Should we say this? What do you think? Let me go ahead and forward it to some people. Like, the time suck is crazy. Now, the reminder email, same kind of deal, and it can write emails. But what I want to point out is what a lot of people don't realize is when you're in ChatGPT, you can ask it to create more than one email. You can literally say, write me a 16 email sequence, and it'll do it in 16 seconds. Like, it's crazy. So that's what this is an example of too, right? You give them the script, and then it gives you all of the things. Other part for reminders, this one's really helpful for us. So using a software like High Level, full transparency, I'm sponsored by them, so everybody buy High Level. Someone send me that clip so I can send it to them. Everyone buy High Level. High Level. High Level. Buy High Level. Okay, fulfilled my duties. So there's a High Level. Use High Level. Hey, everybody, use High Level. Thank you. I'll tag them. Okay, so Descript. This is the one that does the audio automatically and can change your voice. The most tactical way I can see everyone in this room using this is sending reminder calls where you can automate the phone call so it rings and then somebody answers and the voice starts talking. You can do that through High Level. But then actually getting it to say something. So,
hey, it's Billie Jean calling to remind you to show up to my live training that's starting in 30 minutes. You made a commitment. I promised to over-deliver. Now let's get to work.
So there it is, right there. Now again, I would use a better trained version of my voice, so it's a little clearer and slower. But the fact that it can be done, and I, as the CEO, don't have to do it. I don't have to stop my day. The marketing team is fully empowered to handle it without me, is everything, okay? Synthesia. So, Synthesia. This is that other one I was telling you about, video. So don't be afraid to go all in on an avatar or to put yourself in there or someone on your team. And like I said, the onboarding and the learning aspect, same thing here.
Hey, Laura here from Billie Jean's team. Just wanted to shoot this quick video and let you know I'm excited to chat tomorrow and show you how I can help grow your business. I'll send you a text 15 minutes before our scheduled appointment with the link to join the meeting.
Crazy, right? It's not a real human. It's not a person. That is an avatar that you can select. You should have heard this conversation with my buddy Walter. I mean, so the scary part that everybody is worried about is not just AI, it's AI and robotics. So, there's a couple places like, I forget which country it is, but they're using a newscaster, completely robotic, all with AI. And I mean, it's insane. So, and then people go, well, robotics is super far away. Like, is that going to take forever? Really? Roomba? You mean the vacuum that's literally looking in your house like where not to bump into? So if that was Roomba, that was hot like how many years ago? What do you think they're doing now? It's going to be crazy, okay? So again, and if you're like, hey, I still can kind of tell, listen, you can have them introduce yourself. I am, Veronica, Billy's virtual artificial intelligence assistant. It doesn't need to be a secret. Tell people what you're using. It's going to be normal, okay? So that's a sequence to get people to show up, listen up, and then I'm going to kind of turn the corner here and talk about getting people to pay up, meaning the actual sales conversation. So I personally have been using this next one for a long time. We're not using it in this moment, but we used it for a solid years ago. And this one is called Course.ai. You guys ever heard of this thing? This one is powerful. So imagine it sits on every single Zoom call. First of all, let me give you 2 notes. One, the best way to increase your closing percentage is to do a Zoom instead of a call. I promise you, every single person here. Remember, when someone doesn't buy from you, all they're saying is, I don't trust you, AKA, I don't believe you. If they believe they were going to make $1 million in 30 days and they would give you, they don't believe you. The reason why we don't believe is a lot of times we can't see. As humans, we decide if we trust or believe in someone by looking at them, their body language, their mannerisms, etc. So, get on Zoom. You will make money immediately more. That I promise you for everybody. Now, having said that, when you're on Zoom, use chorus.ai. And what Chorus does is basically allows you to, one, obviously record the call, but also it will give you the entire transcript of the call, but it will also tell you who's talking when and allow you to make essentially highlight reels of the entire conversation. So if you're giving your sales team an exact script to use, you can upload it to Chorus, and then you can get a report that shows you how long they were actually on script. And it will send you a 60-second clip of the moment that they went off. So there's this thing called playlists in here. So you're gonna hear the same 6 objections all the time, right? Which is, I don't have the time, let me talk to my spouse, I don't have the money. It's not new. So what we had our sales team do is when they heard one of those objections, to record the moment, upload it into a playlist. So imagine how much material we had for a new hire. We just had a series of playlists. So somebody goes, man, I can't close. They keep telling me that they got to go talk to their spouse. Here's 3,600 ways to overcome it. Have a blast. Chorus. This one, unlike all the other things I've showed you, are pretty cheap, like a small, I couldn't even tell you what the price is. This one's a little bit pricier, but if this is a big part of your game when you are selling on Zoom, I cannot recommend it enough. Really will make, it also just wins your time back again. Imagine how much you'd have to listen to be able to even give feedback. How many calls you have to sit through and hey, how you doing? Oh, your kids go to school, my kids go to school too. And you're like fast forwarding and pausing and rewinding. Now Chorus comes along and goes, here's the exact moment. It's everything, okay? So use that and it'll make you more money. And then this is just how I train my salespeople. This will probably be the second most important thing that I teach today. And it is the 90-10, 90-10, 90-10. We'll go ahead and take a picture of this because I want you to remember it. Take a picture of this. I live by this. 90% of the sales conversation needs to be the other person talking. That's the first 90-10. The second one is the 10% of the time that you are talking, 90% of it needs to be a question. Needs to be a question, right? It's like the most times that you feel that somebody's interested is when they're asking you questions and they're listening. It's classic. And then the third aspect, 90% of the conversation needs to be about the product or service. Fatigue is real, meaning you've been on the phone for 45 minutes and all you did was talk about how you both love football. And you're hanging out and it's so fun and your kids go to the same school and you believe in the same things, etc. And then you go in for the close and they're like, you know what? Let me give you a call right back. You're best friends, you believe them, and that person goes where? Ghost. Never see them again. It's fatigue. Time is absolutely crucial when you're on a sales. Stick to the point. If you do these 3 things when you're having calls, I promise you you'll make money. Do it on Zoom, stick to the 90-10, 90-10, 90-10. Everything else is golden. Okay? And the questions that you ask to give you some exact tacticals, my favorite, ready for it? It's powerful, it's 2 words. It's what else? Sounds like this. Hey, what made you decide to join this call today? They're like, I just want to learn about marketing. Okay, awesome. What else? And then they're like, well, also I thought, I've been following you guys for this. Great. Anything else? It's good shit. It closes, and it sticks to the 90-10, 90-10, 90-10 rule. What else is one? The classic. How does that make you feel? Yeah, does it? Mm-hmm. And then here's the other framework. These 2 words. It's who else? So, who are you doing this for? Well, this is all about my kids. Awesome. Who else? You're like, well, why do you want to be successful? They're like, well, I want to be successful because, okay, and who else does this impact? Who else? What would your parents say? What would your brother say? What would your best friend say? Who else? Literally just do that. That's it. 90, 10, 90, 10, 90, 10. What else? Who else? How does that make you feel? And then the last component. You ready for the ultimate close? That's fucking good. Okay. Would you like to buy this right now? I'm not kidding. It is amazing how many people talk themselves out of a sale because you get nervous. How much is the price? It's $3,000, but like nobody actually really pays that. You can pay me $2,500 and I have a money back guarantee and I believe in you and I trust you. You can call me anytime. Plus I have a Voxer Facebook group and my daughter's basketball games on Saturdays at 9:30 if you'd like to come. And they're like, whoa, if I just keep not saying anything, maybe they'll give it to me for free. It's just straight, great. Would you like to buy this right now? And then complete, say nothing else. Even if it's awkward, for like 6 minutes. They're like, are you still there? You're like, yep. Just do these things. You will make more money, okay? Another AI tool. This one is fascinating. Anybody ever taken a DISC assessment before? Or any of the personality tests? They're all kind of the same. Check it out.
Crystal, the artificial intelligence tool that helps you know your buyer before you sell them using personality-based guidance. Here's how it works. First, download the Google Chrome extension, then go to your prospect's LinkedIn profile, click on the Crystal extension, and in seconds, Crystal will predict what letter of the DISC they are. In this case, this is Daniel, our CFO, and Crystal predicts he is a C, analyst. She also tells me how to communicate with him. Do address the meat of the concerns. Use specific, blunt language. Don't use overly emotional language. She also gives me insight into his DISC map, expected behavior, what to do when emailing him or meeting with him. I also can see his energizers and his stressors, how to speak and work with him, some quick tips, and she even gives me email templates. Crystal just became my new best friend.
Crazy, right? Now imagine pairing that with ChatGPT, where you copy and paste the do's and don'ts and say, write me something that appeals to this person. Wow. Yeah. This is some good huh? Oh, you guys should buy my stuff for sure. Okay, now last part, the follow-up, okay? This is just a quick tool. Essentially, ChatGPT is amazing, but sometimes the inconvenience of going to a different window and going back and forth is a pain in the ass. Compose.ai allows you to pretty much do the same functions right inside of your inbox.
Compose AI, the artificial intelligence tool that writes faster and saves you time on follow-up. Here's how it works. When you're ready to follow up with a prospect, click to write an email. Type in a prompt like, write a follow-up email letting them know they are a potential fit for a business partnership, inviting them to schedule a follow-up meeting. Click to generate, and you're done. Review and send. Never miss out on another opportunity to follow up.
Simple, easy, practical. Compose.ai, okay? This is what I really want to talk about. This is my personal favorite way to make money, okay? And this is AI-powered SMCs. Social media commercials. People have been selling with commercials and infomercials forever. It's just been the framework. But I think one thing that kind of kept us out as small business owners were just the cost and the production to get these things done. I mean, nobody had the $30,000 extra to test an infomercial for 60 minutes at night. It was so infeasible, it didn't matter. But now, essentially when you're seeing a video ad on Facebook, I know we don't use this word, but it's a commercial. It's a commercial, it's a cell phone commercial, right? Like production, zero, hey, selfie, like it's a commercial. And I'm like, why aren't more people using this? Because let's dive a little bit deeper, okay? SMC, a modern day commercial typically watched on a cell phone and created at home. Most small business owners make their sales one-to-one. At best, you can have 10 sales conversations a day. I asked that question earlier. I said, how many people did you ask to buy? And the challenge is it's not that you wouldn't ask people to buy, you just kind of respect your time. Anybody here have family? Show of hands. It's a little harder to just go have 10 sales calls a day. It's just not feasible according to our preferences. You can do it, but you may not want to. So I like me an SMC. okay? Which is a true way to really generate cash. It can sell 24/7. It's also global. And with AI, you can be multilingual in like 2 seconds. Whisper.ai. Write it down real quick. Whisper.ai. That's the goat in regards to translating things instantly. Whisper. That's the one directly from OpenAI. Okay? And then also consistency. I mentioned earlier that the challenge with salespeople is that things happen, right? We're emotional, we just broke up with our significant other, like it just gets really difficult to do. The thing I love about SMCs, same pitch every time and it's perfect. No drama, nothing can derail it. Anybody ever had a roller coaster month before where you did great and then did the next month? Oh, nobody rose their hands for that, really? Really? Yeah, all of us. Exactly. So what I love about video is it helps eliminate that. It helps eliminate those variables, okay? So I asked ChatGPT to give me some stats about people consuming video content. And it says, according to Cisco, 82% of all internet traffic by 2022 will be 82%. We're there, it's 2023. Okay, so video is where it's at. So commercial been used to sell forever. This isn't a new formula that I'm gonna teach you. I'm just gonna make it accessible. But let's go back to where, let's go back to where SMC started. Before SM, social media. Introducing the Thigh Master.
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master. Every single time you squeeze Thigh Master, you strengthen and tone right where you need it.
That wouldn't fly today. It's not happening today. Like, I'm not directing that one. Even the beginning. Hey, how'd you get those legs?
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
So don't start your ads off with a cat call. It's not. But I'm gonna play it again and then pay attention to the demonstration though. They do a good job of demonstrating the product.
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master. Every single time you squeeze Thigh Master, you strengthen and tone right where you need it. So it's easy to squeeze your way to shapely hips and thighs.
I thought I'd never fit into these jeans again. Thank you, Thigh Master.
Gotta have the doc for credibility. I mean, you get the point. But that thing sold. Oh, that thing sold. And it uses a very simple formula, a demonstration, right? The credibility from the doctor, it hasn't changed. It's still the same thing. But here's somebody else who crushed it with SMCs, pre-SMCs.
Don't you really want to know?
Okay, I was wondering who the father of my baby was.
All right, let's take a look. The Miss Cleo DNA test. I'm solely searching for the father of your baby. Oh, it's the one that's very unpleasant, okay?
Okay.
And he's also the one that had another girlfriend while he was sleeping with you.
Yes, he did.
Yep, that's him. That's the daddy.
Okay.
But you knew that.
Yeah, it was the asshole. Duh. Duh, you really got us, Miss Cleo. Yeah. It was the one you knew you shouldn't have been with. Okay. And she would just go up there and demonstrate. But I want to bring this out because I know there's a lot of coaches in the room. And a lot of the times we try and tell people how great we are at coaching or tell people what we do. But when you're a coach, you have to remember the value is created after the experience. After the experience, meaning until they experience you, there's really nothing there. Some of you who didn't know me today, you're like, Billie Jean, who cares? Now you've experienced me, now you can make a decision. The experience has, I love you too. The decision has to be made. So with Miss Cleo, she said, I'm not gonna tell you I can predict it, I'm gonna show you on camera, right? And then she went to jail, whatever. But like, I think she really did. This is a bad example for integrity, but good example for sales. So, yeah, and then the demonstration. Now, here's a modern day SMC, otherwise known as a Super Bowl commercial. But same format. People talking, demonstrate a little something, something, and make a call to action. This is my favorite one, by the way.
Are you excited about buying an electric vehicle, but worried that it could leave you unsatisfied? then you could be one of many Americans concerned about premature electrification. Symptoms may include fearing you might not be able to last as long as you'd like.
There was plenty of charge before, and sometimes it goes away.
A lot of times.
I've been working a lot.
Being unsure if you'll have enough power to handle your payload.
I don't know if I got the power for this, baby.
I'm adventurous. I like to go all the way. I don't want to have to question if we're even going to make it.
Yeah.
It's a concern.
Lacking the confidence about getting and being able to keep a charge.
Having to stop every time we got really excited, that wouldn't work for me. Stop. Start. Stop. Start.
If PE, premature electrification, is something you're worried about, go to ramrev.com and find out if the Ram 1500 Rev, with options being designed to extend range in satisfying ways, is right for you.
Stop. Start. Stop. Start.
I laugh because you look at the formula and it's still the same, right? Actor, actress, talking about the problem, dimming the problem. They chose to go with humor, and this is used to dodge. And this is modern day. This was at this recent Super Bowl, right? So the formula. So it's like, how can we replicate the same thing? That was a brilliant commercial. All right, so what's changed from these commercials to now? Production costs, deliverability, and speed of development. What I mean by deliverability is, don't forget to show somebody an advertisement on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It costs like 10 cents. Just keep that in mind. 10 cents. Imagine, right? Imagine God giving you this opportunity and then squandering it. He goes, you have a message you want to get out to the world? Okay, cool, I'll make it 10 cents. And then imagine not doing it. So what else can I do, bro? It's 10 cents. It's like I hooks you up. Think about that. Imagine being alive during this AI revolution and the tools where you don't need to be on camera, you don't have to have tech skills, you don't have to have writing skills, and squandering that opportunity. Something to marinate on. One thing that hasn't changed in these ads is what they say, because humans are humans. So what do you say? Follow this formula. Go ahead and take a quick screenshot real quick, or cell phone picture. Attention, demonstrate, sell. Attention, demonstrate, sell. Okay? Thigh masters, right? They got your attention. Great legs, thank you. How'd you get them? Same thing we do in ads, right? You pose a question to make somebody start thinking, and then it actually shows the legs and the demonstrations of the product over and over again. Then you take Miss Cleo. What do they say? Don't you really want to know? Okay, I was wondering who the father of my baby was. And then there you go, you're hooked. Oh my gosh, I have to pay attention. Then she uses her tarot cards and tells you exactly who the father of your baby is. No DNA test needed, nothing. She demonstrates it in seconds. The Dodge Ram. Hey, you excited about buying an electric vehicle? Are you unsatisfied? And then they show the different couples talking about their intimate problems, but in a humorous way to make everybody be able to get in a part of the conversation. Same thing, Thigh Master, Clio, Dodge Ram. But this is the part I want to bring up, and I mentioned it earlier about this offer and how important it is. I want to dive a little bit deeper, okay? The game to know when you have a killer offer that's going to change the game for your business is the consumer will believe it's unfair. They will believe that they're stealing from you because the offer is so good. It will make them go, are you kidding me? I get all this for this? That doesn't even feel right. An unfair trade. What's an example of this? Elon Musk. He's like, yo, give me 40 grand or 60 grand, whatever it is, and I'll give you a car that drives itself. That drives itself. It literally drives itself. Is AI going to take over? The cars drive themselves. Modern day, present, right now. His trade is so good, so what happens as a result? He becomes one of the most richest people on the planet. You know who else did the same thing? This guy. He said, I will deliver anything to your house in hours for $100 a year, Amazon Prime. The trade is so good, it makes him one of the richest guys in the world. What is your trade? That's the game. The more valuable the trade, the more money that circulates to you. What is your trade? Write that question down, actually, because I want you to think about it all through this event. What is your trade? What is your trade? And the second component is, how do you articulate that to your customers? And that's the marketing aspect, okay? So I want to show you guys an example of demonstration modern day that we're doing, and then I'll get into some Q&A, okay? This is an advertisement that I created with the team to sell our AI crash course. And it's doing really well for us, and I'll show you guys the stats and behind the scenes because you guys are a crowd that likes numbers like I do. But the thing I want to point out is going through that formula, notice how the entire ad is the same thing. Attention, a great hook, and then demonstration, and then demonstration, and then demonstration, and then demonstration. Okay, and then offer. It's the same formula. So the ad copy that I wrote says, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm crazy. I'm fear-mongering. Or maybe I'm just paying attention. Artificial intelligence is gonna wreak havoc on the marketing industry. Prepare it. If not, click here to buy my crash course. The AI revolution is here. Get there first or get replaced. Godspeed, Billie Jean. That's the copy I wrote. I didn't chat GPT that, I just wrote that. But that was the ad copy. But let me show you the video that accompanied it. Is artificial intelligence going to put marketers out of business? The answer is absolutely it will, unless you're prepared. It's smarter than us, it's faster than us, and it's cheaper than us, and that's the dangerous part. Most people get ahead financially by either making more money or cutting expenses. And guess what expense they're excited to cut the most? Me and you.
For example, why pay writers when I can ask artificial intelligence to do it for free? Just type what you want, click a button, and in seconds a response will be generated. Why pay for a design when I can ask artificial intelligence to do it at zero cost? Just type what you need, click a button, and in a flash an image will be created. Why pay someone to code a website when I can ask artificial intelligence to do it without spending a dime? Just type what you want, click a button, and it will be ready in seconds. Why pay a human to act in a video when artificial intelligence can do it at a fraction of the cost? Just type what you want them to say, click a button, and your video will be ready in minutes. Why pay for music production when artificial intelligence can make me a song from scratch for pennies? Just pick the length, tempo, and mood, click a button, and almost instantly your masterpiece will be ready. Why waste time recording audio when artificial intelligence can learn my voice and read this advertisement for me? Well, if you couldn't tell, this isn't my actual voice. Artificial intelligence is doing this. Effective, isn't it? And it's only going to get better. Jobs will be lost, but ready for the plot twist? Whenever an industry gets disrupted, wealth gets redistributed. Blockbuster falls, Netflix rises, taxi cabs fall, Uber rises, General Motor falls, Tesla rises, retail falls, Amazon rises. I'm sorry, but traditional marketing has fallen, and the AI marketing revolution is rising. So which side of history will you be on? Tragedy or triumph? In order to win, you need to get up to speed. I created a AI marketing crash course to do exactly that. It's affordable and no tech skills are required. Buy it and prepare yourself. Don't be the girl or guy still on VHS while the world is streaming. Let's get to work.
I was actually in tears.
So then the testimonials come in. So that's the ad that we created, and it's going very well for us. I'll share stats in a minute. But again, the key is demonstration. Every single person here obviously has a skill set, a product or service, but are you demonstrating it in a way that gets people excited and creates desire? It's the whole game. It's the whole game. Like, you want someone to buy your stuff, show them something cool. Show them a magic trick, right? Make them want to see more. So AI has never given us the ability to demonstrate better than now. So I was like, we're just going to go through all of them and show the cool stuff and make a call to action. And notice what I said in the ad. Okay, if you want the crash course, buy it. Same clothes I was telling you guys, buy it. It's like we have this limiting belief that when it comes to service-based businesses that people don't like to talk about buying stuff while they're simultaneously shopping on Amazon. Yeah, there's no shortage of, people aren't afraid to buy. They're literally buying. Some of you bought some shit while you're sitting here in this talk right now.
We want to buy that.
Yeah.
So please, pitch us.
So I'll give you guys the stats. Okay, I'll kind of go back into that. And this kind of goes into relevancy. Let me see. Okay, so we did this live to our email list. And 2,540 buyers decided to jump in. The average cost was $69.31. Funnel revenue from that was $176,057. Our ad spend on that was $17,000, so that's a pretty good return on ad spend. Most of it was warm. Our revenue was $158,000 minus ad spend, and then we sold 151 people into our $10,000 16-week accelerator. and we had a payment plan available of $275 for 36 months. So contracted about $1.5 million in a 5-day period using this process, which is cool. But I don't say to brag. I just say it's all about having the conversation that's relevant. I think as products and creators, we think that we should sell the thing that's in our hearts, but we should really be selling the thing that's in their hearts. And the conversation, that was a bar. Make sure we got that in my video team. That was kind of hot. But I'm serious. Like the second that it's like, you can, if you go to Google Trends, you guys use Google Trends at all? If you don't, use it. So write it down real quick. Google Trends. And then there's 3 bars in the top left, and you can hit something that says trending searches. And it will tell you right there in real time the most talked about topics in the world. And if you search for the term AI in there, you will see that the interest for it relative to the other conversations in the world is at an all-time high right now. So yes, we did a good job with our promotion and marketing and all that jazz, but even if we did a job, I bet you it still would have performed. Because relevancy is that significant. But this is the part that people miss. And this is what I hope to get across to this room, especially on the advertising side. This was all minimal ads to our warm groups, going on Instagram, social, just being very loud. But where this gets exciting is when we did it live, it was over a 5-day period. We condensed it and we put it into Kajabi, right? And we made it not a 5-day where you can get instant access to it right away. And so when we packaged it, we got 1,500 so far. This is a real campaign that's happening in real time. We got an additional 1,595 new buyers. Our average cart's $132. Because they didn't do it live and they're doing it later, we raised the price. Made the price $99, charged an additional $39 if you wanted the VIP, Q&As, etc. So the afterwards, like you missed it live, you missed the first take, so now you're paying a premium more. So this is our cold traffic, people who have never heard of Billie Jean or what we do. This is who we went out to. So the funnel revenue that we brought in so far was $211,000. In addition to that, ad spend $193. So you may be looking like, well, that's not much margin in between that. So what's the real kicker here? Well, the real kicker is a couple of things, because $17,000 isn't going to pay our bills, is that don't forget on the back end, we sell our $10,000 program. So behind that, so far it says we've had 37 new buyers enrolled to our 10K 16-week accelerator in an automated way. 0 salespeople, all just going through the actual content and upselling themselves. Now, let me position that to you in a different way. Did it cost me any money to get those buyers? No. But the other thing that you don't see here is the 21 million times our ads are seen every single day, so I'm getting paid to build my brand. We're owning the conversation while I'm sitting here with you guys enjoying my time. And there's this SMC that's out there doing all the heavy lifting for us. And then the back end is completely automated. So again, package it, use an SMC, an AI, and I appreciate you guys having me. I hope this was helpful so far. Yeah. Also too, side note, I'm not here to pitch.
Hi, it's me, Artificial Intelligence Bill. Billie Jean would never upsell you, but I, Artificial Intelligence Bill, will. Before I can sell like Billie Jean, I need to know who Billie Jean is. Oh, he's African American. So I should probably look like him too.
And sound like him. That was all artificial intelligence. This voice is artificial intelligence. Who will get there first and who will be replaced?
There's something that I made as a joke and it works so good, I could not believe it. I discovered those websites that are about AI. Basically, you can write lyrics in the style of any artist you like. So I typed, write a verse in the style of Eminem about future rave. And I went to another AI website that can recreate the voice. I put the text in that and I played the record and people went nuts.
This is the future rave sound. I'm getting lost in an underground. This is the future rave sound. I'm getting lost in an underground.
Now we're stuck on this stupid tower in the middle of nowhere.
Y es todo por mi culpa. CNN affiliate in South Korea recently debuted the country's first AI news anchor. It's a replica of one of their anchor women, so it copies everything from her look and her facial mannerisms to the sound of her voice. The AI anchor delivers the news briefings 4 times a day on the station's online channel.
Most people consider me
artificial intelligence a big problem.
But to the geniuses here,
I'm a big opportunity, too expensive to miss.
And the opportunity isn't ChatGPT. That's just a tool, like me. And your human clients don't pay you to get them tools. They pay you to get them customers. And unfortunately, artificial intelligence can't do that by itself. But if you can combine it with the skill set of a genius and the power of social media advertising, the possibilities are endless.
16 weeks. An AI-powered advertising agency accelerator. A hybrid business model for customer acquisition. So I want to share a few things with you guys in regards to where I see the opportunity being, especially being boots on the ground, dealing with small businesses, last decade plus, etc. Let's go full screen here. So right now there's $40 trillion being circulated in the global economy. That includes notes, coins, all kinds of currencies. $40 trillion. There is no shortage of money. So why do you have a shortage? Why do so many people have a shortage? There's $40 trillion out there. There is no shortage. Why? And the short answer is because most people don't have anything good to trade for it. What are you talking about, Billy? I gave this example earlier, but Elon Musk, he's like, dude, I'll give you electric cars. I'll give you flamethrowers. Jeff Bezos is like, I will deliver anything to your doorstep in a matter of seconds. They have an amazing trade. Therefore, they are the richest in the globe. Huh. So then going to you. If you had to assess yourself, what would your trade be? Do you have a trade to give? Because if you do, typically, if you know how to sell that trade, your bank account will reflect it. The more valuable the trade, the more money that circulates to you. As long as you can communicate that trade to the marketplace, hence the name marketing. So those two aspects. Got to have something we're trading so more money circulates to you. And the second aspect is you have to know how to communicate that to the marketplace, aka marketing. So right now I believe we have a once in a generation opportunity to make our trade so much more valuable so that more money can circulate to us, and it's the perfect storm. We call it the kind of TLC, okay? One is timing. AI just got released to the public in this manner in November. As you heard in the interview, it's early. It's right now. What a time to be alive. Secondly, the biggest companies in the world are going all in on it. Follow the news. Look at the updates. Like, I follow the money. That's my business strategy. Microsoft is dumping all of the money into it, figuratively speaking. Google, Apple, okay? You can have a business that focuses on tech without knowing anything in tech. For my OGs who have been around it, especially the digital marketing aspect, do you remember when you had to learn to code? Do you remember when you had to build a WordPress website? Do you remember how every single aspect of building a funnel was custom and it would take forever? Do you remember when it was like building your own images in Photoshop and taking the class, etc.? Are you joking me? When I was living at my parents' house trying to figure this out, you know what I would have loved to have? Every single one of those tools that we showed earlier. Now, for the first time in history, you can have an advertising agency and know nothing. I'm talking nothing about tech. What? Imagine squandering that opportunity. And then finally, this last component here is we're one of the first companies in the world who focuses on building an artificial intelligence-powered advertising agency, and we have the background to do it. Our whole company exists because we support small businesses. The implementation, any guests that we need to have, we can call them. Any resource, any tool, we got it. So it's the perfect storm. Now, the second part is leverage. Everybody in here is probably doing entrepreneurship, because not just the money, but the flexibility and the time. However, so many people here are still trading time for dollars. Stop getting paid by time and start getting paid for results. That's the beauty of marketing. Because if I can bring a business customers, they don't care where I'm at in the world. They don't care how much time I'm clocking in or out. If I can bring the value and drive sales, it doesn't matter. So that's how you get true leverage. The org chart has completely changed. When I came into the game, and for a lot of you that have seen this, zoom in there a little bit, your marketing team, you had to have a copywriter, a website builder, a social media specialist, a content creator, a video editor, an audio producer, an advertising analysis, marketing assistant. And you just saw today in this small demonstration that we did that most of those things can be replaced. So look at this new hybrid model that we're in right now in real time. Zoom in for me, please. The marketing team, you, some AI software, and some virtual assistant, maybe. Like I told you in the beginning, most companies don't survive because it's just too expensive. And now technology has come and removed so many expenses. Imagine squandering the opportunity. And the last part of this TLC, what I'm calling the perfect storm, to dive into this, is the craving. Selling something that people are already freaking craving. Fill in the blank for you. What does almost everyone in the world crave? More blank and more what? More blank and more what? What is everybody? Yeah, Chris got it right away. More money and more time. Surprise. How's everybody getting this answer right? More money and more time. And then ironically, what is it that an advertising agency sells? What does an advertising agency sell? More money and more time. It's the perfect storm. Who thinks this is a good idea? Anybody here want me to help you do it? I know a little something about this whole advertising game, just a little bit. So here's the deal. 16 weeks. It's a lot to cover. We're live every Tuesday here. Prioritize it. Live Zoom support, Monday through Friday. You got questions, you need to hop on with our team, we got you. Simple. You can join us in the studio live, or you can do it virtual, but we do have our studio. This is where I broadcast from, everybody. If you're in San Diego, cool, come in to those Tuesday sessions, doesn't matter to me. Or learn it virtual, most of our students do. Okay, but you have those options. And the price? Just 10 grand. I say just, because I'm relative to the opportunity. Anyone who signs up within the next 30 minutes, you know your boy's looking out. You can break it up into payments. $275 for 36 months. $275 for 36 months. People ask me, Billy, why would you offer that? Because let me be very clear. I needed that when I was coming up. When I was trying to figure out this advertising game at my parents' house, I would not have been able to move forward unless somebody gave me some kind of payment option, unless somebody stuck their hand out for me. So I'm never going to be a hypocrite. This is exactly what I would have needed to move forward. So that's what I'm offering you for the next 30 minutes. Enjoy this ride. Don't look at it as work. Enjoy the ride. Lose sleep of the fact that you're this early. How cool, how fun, how special, right? And like I said 6 times during this presentation, imagine having this opportunity and squandering it. No thanks. Love you guys. We'll play one last video, and I'm out here. Peace. Today we celebrate you. Today we create memories. Today we party. And tomorrow we change the world. We're going to close this out with one last I am genius. And if we do it loud enough, the lights will turn off. And if we keep doing it loud enough, the fireworks may come on. You ready to do this?
I am genius.
Woo! I am. I am. I am. I am.
I sleep at night without seeing my dreams. Delusionary reality. I'm somewhere in between. These voices voices in my head get loud, and they keep telling me that I'm a fool for trusting in these wings. But maybe, baby, this will fly.